What is up, guys? On today's episode of Schneider & Son, we're checking out our Yamaha PW50. We just picked this up for free. How did we do it? We had a friend who needed some help selling a Jeep, a quad, a jet ski, and he said that if we helped him sell 3 or 4 items, he would give us this for free. So, Yamaha PW50, it's a 49cc. It's a centrifugal clutch, so it's kind of like a snowmobile clutch, so no gears. On a lot of your newer, a lot of your entry-level dirt bikes, you're gonna have, you know, a gear selector here, like a Honda CRF50. It's 2-stroke, so that's kind of a different thing than like the Hondas. So you're mixing regular gas, and we're running Yamalube in this. So really fun little bike. We've been ripping it around, and this is where you put in your 2-stroke oil, and then just your gas. And tell us about the controls here, buddy.
So when you're starting it, you just so you gotta move this over.
Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, and then you just push down on it really hard.
Yep.
And then when you're done doing it, you move it from start to run.
Yep.
Not up too much or it'll go on off.
Yep, and then it won't run at all.
Run.
Yep.
Like you hit, so you go start.
Yep, get it started and then flip it up, right? Okay, cool. So we'll start this thing up, but if you've never seen one of these before, Yamaha has been making this bike pretty much exactly the same. They've changed the graphics since early 80s. So the PW50, very popular. A lot of times it's the first bike that your kids will ride. So another thing to note on the PW50 that's kind of cool is it's shaft drive. So you don't see a chain. So Yamaha did this, and it should be a pretty reliable system. So you've got a shaft, and then you've got to add oil, or in some cases it's grease. I think in this case, actually haven't read up on this yet, but I believe this one is oil for the differential. So I've got a couple quads with shaft drive, and then I've got an old Yamaha Badger that had a weird kind of a design where it was like grease instead of oil, so those failed. I'll show you that a little bit later, but let's take this thing for a rip. Give it a little bit of gas. Don't worry as much about this. Leave it on start. Give it a little gas while you try to kick it. There you go, there you go. Give it a little more, oh, okay. Doing good. Give it a little more gas. There you go. Okay, hop on it. Watch out, watch your leg. Alright, hop on it, give it a little gas. Push it forward, there you go. So how many miles have you put on this thing since we got it?
I don't know. How much do you think?
You've been riding it around quite a bit.
How much do you think?
What's your favorite thing about it?
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice unit. Everything works, right?
Yeah.
It's not like an old junky lawnmower that we picked up. Runs pretty good. Should we take a look at that at the Yamaha Badger that I was mentioning earlier?
What Yamaha Badger?
I know it's hard to keep track of all the quads and 3-wheelers, but it's the one that has shaft drive. It's similar to this. I thought we could look at that really quick.
Is
The Yamaha. Why don't you shut that off? And yeah, why don't you move it over there and we'll take a look. There you go, pull it back. Pull it back, perfect. Nice work. All right, let's take a look in our very organized shop here.
Oh, the Yamaha.
This is, yep, so we bought this last year and we haven't done any real in-depth videos on it, but we bought this for 200 bucks and it was the side of the road find. 200 bucks for that, and there was this other, it's buried over here in kind of the less than ideal things, that BMX Chinese quad, which does run but needs some work.
What's the problem with the Chinese quad?
That needs,
Daddy?
yes, sweetheart?
When are you gonna help me go on a dirt bike?
Oh, let's do that once we're done here. So we're just gonna finish up our video really quick, okay? So we bought this, 200 bucks, and this had a bad rear end. So let's pull this thing out.
Didn't we?
Yeah, so I bought a used, there you go. I bought a used rear end on eBay. Old one out. Let's grease this one up and put the new one in. So this is the big moment of truth. We gotta see if this eBay rear end was worth it. You think it's gonna work?
Hope so.
Hope so too.
I really hope so.
Me too. All right. These things fail because the older style, they used grease instead of oil. So the old one, I think we have it on a workbench over there. We won't really look at it, but this thing does run. Last I had it out, but maybe we'll do a video on this thing in the future. But not bad shape. Somebody had painted these handlebars. I cleaned the carburetor, and other than the put a new battery on it, so I highly doubt, I don't even think this has gas in it. So we'll check this thing out in another video, but wanted to show you just the shaft drive, you know. And if you're new to quads or three-wheelers, like this is a 83 200X, and this has a chain. Okay, so typical kind of a setup. This is an 85 Honda TRX 125. That's a chain drive. That is a 78 ATC 90, and that is chain drive. So shaft drive is pretty, not uncommon, but just less common. So some newer machines, like the quad that I was riding earlier, are Foreman 500, that is shaft drive. Let's look at another machine over here. This is an 87 Honda Big Red. This thing is really cool. I sold a guy a snowblower, and we started talking, and I said, yeah, I get, you know, carburetors on eBay and Amazon for lawnmowers and three-wheelers I fix up. And he said, oh, I have a three-wheeler in my barn. So we made a deal on this one for 100 bucks, and it is an 87, which it's hard to get to the tag, but where is it? Right there. So 87 was the last year that Honda made three-wheelers in the US. They did make them in, I think, Australia, maybe a few other places, but pretty cool unit, very rough. I had to do one-way bearing on the starter side, so these starter gears were all messed up, needed a new starter. Had to take the case off, and and redid that last winter or 2 winters ago, and then also did the one-way bearing on the other side, which is the clutch side. So even though it's rough, pretty nice score for $100. This 84 Big Red is also shaft drive. So that's kind of what I was getting at, is Honda really went pretty strong with shaft drive units. They did have chain drive, like, you know, for like 350Xs or 200Xs or some of the, you know, the older three-wheelers, but we'll just show you. Yeah, can you see it? It's hard to see. We have so much stuff. We're getting ready for winter with all these snow blowers here. Let me see if I can get around to that side. And we'll give the good folks at home a shot to look at. So you can kind of see over here. So it says right there, reverse shaft. So from your engine, it's going into the shaft that's going back to that rear differential.
This is chain drive.
Yep, so we've got another quad that's chain drive, right?
Chinese quad.
And so you can kind of see here, okay? Another example. Shaft drive. Fun units. I'm gonna try to do some more videos on these three-wheelers. So if you want that, comment below, let us know kind of what you'd like to see more content on. Thanks for watching today, guys. We'll see you on the next one.